n'avez pas entendu parler du Facteur?
Les nouvelles du Facteur.
Labor Day's come and gone, and that means the summer's over. Football season's officially started, so now I have something else to watch besides Cops reruns. It's getting dark out earlier, and kids are going back to school, telling their buddies what they did all summer, and making some new friends.
O'Doyle rules.
Thanks a lot, O'Doyle. Nice meeting you.
For Joe Biden's first day at school, what would he be telling all his friends? Would he have friends? Knowing Joe's history of plagiarism, he'd probably tell his friends what somebody else did this summer. But because Joe isn't here, we've been asking for an interview. They keep saying no. We will be telling the story of the Joe Biden summer. And it's nothing to brag about. He started off his vacation like every kid. He fell off his bike. He didn't break any bones, but he did break the all-time record for gas prices. Joe then tried begging the Saudis for oil, but they wouldn't take his calls. They sent him straight to voicemail. So he had to fly over there after he said he wouldn't and fist bump the prince. Remember the fist bump? Well, that didn't work either. The Saudis then announced they were going to cut production, not boost it. And then the most vaxxed man in America got COVID. Twice.
Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID. But I've been double vaccinated, double boosted. Symptoms are mild, and I really appreciate your inquiries and your concerns. But I'm doing well, I'm getting a lot of work done, going to continue to get it done.
He had to quarantine away from Jill for a while, who was still in the doghouse for calling Hispanics tacos. Around the same time, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and a liberal tried to assassinate Justice Kavanaugh. But Biden didn't say a thing about it. Come to think of it, Biden didn't say much of anything this summer, because when he wasn't in quarantine, he was on vacation. And while Biden was out of commission for most of the summer, Gavin Newsom waltzed into the White House to measure the drapes. Look at him, strut around like a peacock, like he just put 20% down and is waiting for the closing. And border crossings hit an all-time high, so did inflation. But Biden's approval rating hit an all-time low. It's official. Biden became the least popular president in American history. And Jimmy Carter breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, someone worse. But it would get worse for Joe. America entered into a recession. But Biden didn't really see it that way.
There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. Fed Chairman Powell made it clear that he doesn't think the U.S. economy is currently in a recession.
The recession denier was at rock bottom. This is what they call the dog days of summer. And Biden didn't even have a dog with him because he kept biting agents. But Biden had a plan to get himself out of the jam. He just started straight up bribing people. First, he bribed Joe Manchin with a pipeline to get about $1 trillion in global warming spending through. Remember, they called it the Inflation Reduction Act? And then he started bribing liberals with law degrees, throwing around $10,000 checks. So the media says Joe has momentum. But then Biden got greedy and raided President Trump's house in Mar-a-Lago. So what do you do when you raid your opponent's house? You keep quiet and go on vacation with your crooked son, Hunter. And that's what he did. And then we found out just how corrupt the whole Hunter Biden thing really was. The FBI lied to Facebook about the laptop to shut the story down in 2020.
The background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
And then we found out the FBI covered up not only the laptop before the election, but Ashley Biden's diary. And Biden lovers delayed the Pfizer vaccine announcement for the election just to hurt Trump. And then we found out in August, which is a typically slow month, that the Democrats and the FBI rigged the last election. So, what's Joe's next move? He comes out and says the Republicans are the biggest threat to democracy.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy.
And that was after he called half the country fascist. And everybody knew he sounded like a bloodthirsty dictator. So then he comes out and says, you know, I didn't really mean it.
Mr. President, do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat to the country?
Keep trying to make that case. I don't consider any Trump supporter to be a threat to the country.
But the media lapped up the red meat anyway, and now says we are on the brink of a civil war.
These days, it feels like we are not just at the brink of a civil war, but that one has already begun.
Two of the hallmarks of a fascist political party are, one, they don't accept the results of elections that don't go their way, and two, they embrace political violence.
So political violence and questioning the election makes you a fascist now?
You can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
An illegitimate president, in my mind.
Folks, look, I absolutely agree.
Without voter suppression, Stacey Abrams would be the governor of Georgia.
And then on the last day of summer, Labor Day, Biden looked angrier than we've ever seen him.
For decades, Big Pharma tried to block giving lower drug prices. Not this year. We beat Pharma this year. We beat Pharma this year, and it mattered. We're going to change people's lives. We finally beat Pharma.
Whoa there, big guy. You didn't take on Big Pharma. You're Pfizer's Salesman of the Year. His vax mandate put billions of dollars in Pfizer's pockets. And for a guy that was on vacation for half the summer, why is he so angry? He should be rested and relaxed like me. And look at the crowd. Can we put up some pictures? No one even showed up to listen to the big guy. I mean, this guy supposedly got 81 million votes. No one showed up. It's not like they had work. We were off. People don't care what the guy has to say. The whole presidency doesn't add up. So here's the story of the summer. The country is still in shambles. The Democrats can't run on anything except bribes. They're opening the border. They're emptying the jails. Gas prices are still high. Inflation and crime still out of control. There's still a war in Europe. COVID's still around. Student test scores are down. There's still no formula. And Biden doesn't have a plan for any of this. So what are they doing? They're attacking Trump. And they're bringing Obama back to the White House. Tomorrow, Barack and Joe are going to have a big show for you. It's all a distraction. Hey, I'm friends with Obama. And Trump's a fascist. Don't pay any attention to how I'm destroying the country.
J'aimerais dire un énorme merci à tous ceux qui supportaient la chaîne. C'est vraiment apprécié. Merci beaucoup.
Vous n'avez pas entendu parler du Facteur?
Les nouvelles du Facteur